Hey guys, so it is time for another sketchbook update. I don't know if you remember, but last time I said I was going to be doing a Star Wars themed sketchbook for a while. I like to sometimes stick with a theme, so as always I use Strathmore Tone Tan sketch pad, and I get this question so much that I figure every few videos will tell you that I use a Geargraph 500 Pentel 0.5 mechanical pencil, and for highlights a Prismacolor white colored pencil. So the first drawing is one you guys saw. I did a video on this one, Stormtrooper. I won't talk a whole lot on this one just because there's a whole video dedicated to it, but yeah, this is my own kind of concept for a Stormtrooper, and this is really the drawing that got the whole Star Wars theme, you know, that, and I was really into the new movie that, you know, I saw the first couple trailers and I'm pretty stoked on that. So yeah, so that's the first sketch. And this was a full colored pencil drawing where I used Prismacolor colored pencils, and I also did a video on how I blend these, so if you want to check that out you can check those out. And this was another Stormtrooper concept. It's kind of nice to be able to see all the drawings kind of together, so you can kind of see the progression of the ideas and stuff. So this was like a blade, I can't remember, storm blade, something, I can't remember what I called it, but basically a sword stormtrooper that's a girl. So next one is one you guys haven't seen. Actually, I'm not quite finished with this one yet. I kind of went away from it for a while just because colored pencils take so long, but this was kind of a Boba Fett concept. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see a little bit more of the detail, but you can see I like how I blended the colored pencil. I used a lot of different colors and stuff in that, but I was liking the way it turned out. I'm definitely going to finish this one, so maybe in a future video I'll show you the absolute finished one. But yeah, I like it. It's not bad. I don't know if it's super original. I would have liked to have maybe gotten a little bit crazier with the design of him, because everybody loves Boba Fett. So, but yeah, so that's that one. So here is just pencil, and this one is a kind of droid and a, what do you call them? Jawa. So Jawa and a droid, and there's another little droid kind of concept up there, so you can kind of see like the detail. But this was kind of fun. I kind of took an R2 body and put it on top of like kind of like a walking robot thing, but definitely my style. Kind of a fun little concept. It was fun to draw the Jawa and stuff like that. So, but I really like that floating robot. I feel like sometimes it's just that final little detail that makes you kind of like a drawing or not like it. I feel like that little floating robot just gives it a nice little touch, like personality wise. So, but kind of a fun sketch. So this is my female Vader sketch kind of concept. So I made the mouth part a little bit bigger than Darth Vader's, and the helmet's different, but I kind of kept kind of the theme, like the burnt face and stuff like that, but definitely made it a girl, but a little bit cleaner. I think I probably spent a little bit more time on this one, but so anyway, super fun. I actually had so much fun doing these, just kind of thinking of what different characters would look like, and also exploring my own style. That's one thing I really like to do too, is kind of, I don't know, when I see a movie that's got really established characters and things like that, I always like to think about the way I would do them versus the artists that did them originally. I'd rather than just do them the way they did it. I have more fun kind of thinking of how I would have done it, which I don't know if I would have done it exactly like this, but this was the one concept I kind of came up with. So I don't do these a whole lot, but this is a kind of a scene that's happening. So, which I really like doing these, and I don't do them that often, which is kind of odd. But so you can kind of see like a story happening here. So these two guys are fighting, and obviously this guy just jumped through the air, like leapt through the air and sliced this guy's head off. So his head fell, and then his body was probably standing there for a second, and then now it's just starting to fall over, and he's dropping his lightsaber. And so this guy cut his head off, which it's kind of a dynamic, you know, the composition is very, like, I tried to keep angular kind of stuff, like the flow, he's like moving this direction, I want to have this sense of movement happening, so there's a lot of angles and things. So maybe this body, just a little slight more of an angle would have been a little better, but just so you get that idea that it's falling over. But I don't know, I think I've conveyed it pretty well. So this is like a Jedi Girl, and I'm just drawing kind of a girl's face. She's kind of got armor, but just kind of a simple drawing. She kind of looked like Natalie Portman to me, which is funny because Natalie Portman was in, you know, the new Star Wars movies, but just kind of a pretty Jedi Girl. I really like this one, really fun. If an Ewok was like a Sith Lord or like an apprentice of some type, that's what this one would be. His armor's kind of made up, kind of looks like a Stormtrooper, like pieced together kind of armor. But, you know, he's staring at you. Almost, he's kind of got a dumb look on his face though, but he still definitely looks a little bit evil. And you can see he's kind of got a lightsaber there in his hand. So with I wanted to keep some elements of like the tribal Ewok kind of stuff there. So he's got that skull necklace. So, but I thought this was a pretty fun one. So this is, you guys rarely see like rougher sketches, but this was kind of like another scene idea where a Jedi is like stabbing his lightsaber through the head of a giant, like, I don't know, I can't remember what the pit beast was called and that Luke killed, but it's kind of a scene like that, just a rough sketch, kind of an idea. So I should probably do those more often than I do, but, and here's kind of like an alien, like a Star Wars universe, like alien, something maybe like a Jedi would fight. And you know, it's partially finished. Sometimes I like it when you can see a really rough like pencil work next to more finished pencil work, just because it kind of shows people, you know, where it started and where it ended. But this one kind of turned out pretty cool, kind of a fun one. Another rough one, character concept. This was going to be like just kind of a different alien type thing. Really rough, just kind of an idea. I wanted to get the proportions a little bit different so it just didn't look like another humanoid. Very slender, long legs and arms and stuff like that. Kind of a little insect-like, but just, it's always good to kind of just come up with ideas and maybe not flush every single one of them out, because I actually didn't really like the way that one turned out, so that's why I didn't render it fully. And this is not Star Wars related, but it's the last sketch I did. So this is like kind of a vampire. I've been watching Penny Dreadful, which is a very disturbing show, but I like it. So, but this is kind of just a quick vampire sketch I did. So anyway, so that is the Star Wars themed sketchbook that I did this last couple of weeks, and I was out of town for a week, so that's one reason I haven't had a video up in a little while. But anyway, that's the video. I hope you guys like it. I've got so many videos that I would love to do right now. It's just a matter of finding the time to do them. So one of these days I'm gonna just mash out like 3 videos, because there's videos I really want to make. I just haven't had the time. But anyway, I hope you guys liked the video, and thanks for watching. And if you would like, subscribe.